Hi everybody and welcome back or welcome to Wheelie Tropicals. Today I'm coming live from the Tiki Bar. I just thought I'd show you that I do have a Tiki Bar. A lot of the people have been watching the channel for a while didn't realise that I had one. I will do a full pan, but it's got all the washing in and some gym equipment that I've definitely put more clothes on than I've ever lifted weights on. So at the moment I thought I'd show you the clean area. I'm going to do a typical YouTuber trick and leave all the mess over there. But today's video, without further waffle, with plenty of extra waffle coming, is I want your help. I bought a load of plants. And I've probably done a bit of a rookie mistake looking back on it now, or maybe it's just something that we all do. Put it in the comments. I bought a load of plants that I just like the look of. And then I've come to the garden, you might think, well, what's the problem with that, mate? That's what you're supposed to do. But then I've come back and when I looked at the growing conditions of what they need, like full shade or whatever, I don't have that available. So a couple of plants have been going, where on earth are you going to fit? So I'm either going to have a sickly plant, something that's going to get frazzled in the sun when it wants full shade. But I have got some plants in some areas that I want to do. So I'm going to put some plants down. I want your honest opinion because I am trying to get some level of aesthetic in the garden. Some level it looks like someone's known what they were doing has done, and I fluked most of it. And then let me know, good, bad or ugly, whether you would put the plants there, whether you would put something else there, whether you would move it, and I'll show you the sections, and hopefully it'll be like a bit like the garden that YouTube's helped create. So after your expertise today, and I'll showcase some of the plants, so there's something in it for you as well. So I'll show you some of the plants, maybe you've heard of them before, maybe you haven't. And then yeah, as well, just before we move on, and if you click on view channel and it says view, it's like community tab. If you click on my community tab, it allows you to upload videos to my feed. So you can show me examples of these plants growing in your garden or just garden layouts, anything at all. If you're anything like me, I've got far more pictures of green stuff on my phone, i.e. my plants, than I have of my family. So if you're anything like me and happy to showcase stuff, honestly, feel free to put that on there. All the engagements helps with my YouTube channel, as well as giving me some inspiration. So let me go and show you some of the green stuff and show you what we're working with. All right, so we're in the garden now. If you're new to the channel, this is the garden that we're working with. I'll kind of move a little bit out of the way. Probably 60-70% happy with what I've achieved so far from somebody that isn't a professional gardener. I've been doing it since COVID, those crazy times. So into the 6th year now, would you believe? And it feels like I've been doing it for a couple of years. Like I say, from the patio, it looks really nice. I'm really happy with what I've done. The borrowed landscape at the back as well makes it look really private and stuff. There is obviously some houses either side where that look on where I kind of film. That's why you feel daft after the time doing the films with people looking at you, but it is what it is. Without further waffle, let me show you the plants that we're working with, and I want to show you some suggestions of the areas that I'm putting them in, and then you can tell me whether it's good, bad or ugly, and then put some suggestions in of some plants as well. So first up, the Akuba japonica February star. This thing is absolutely beautiful, variegated. It's got one gorgeous little berry on it down there, and it did have some flowers on. As you can see, they're all spent now. So this prefers a shady spot. It will keep its variegation. It will be a lot stronger in a shaded spot, unlike a lot of other plants. More on the indoor one, the more sun they get, the more kind of white variegation and stuff they get. The outside stuff tends to be the opposite. I've then got a handful of Fatsia. So I've got Fatsia polycarpa, green fingers, and I've got the camouflage, which has just had a new flush on it. Quite a leggy little specimen on that one. This one's a little bit more bushy from lower down. So again, more shade plants. And then also, because I went Fatsia crazy, I got the variegated version, which has got the white on the leaves, and it is starting a new little flush on there. So I've got quite a range there of things that are for shade. I've got this one as well, a couple of plants here. I've got the canna, which I think is dark night. It's not Russian red anyway. If not, it might be smoky flame. Has that kind of colour on it. Then I've got this one, which is the Phytolacca Boom. And I got this a while ago. It was when I was doing Craig over at Grow Paradise. He had a seed grow along kind of seed subscription, and I got that as part of that. I did try and go back, but of course, because the videos were pulled down, I can't see any information. So if anyone grows that Phytolacca Boom, let me know how it grows, because AI was suggesting that it will grow ridiculously tall. Then RHS and other places were saying that actually it's quite a compact, about a metre, 1.5 metres. So AI doesn't know everything. So let me know if you grow this particular plant, or use the community tab to show me where would you plant this in the garden. And then as well as that, I've got a couple of nice plants as well. Got the colocasia, I think that was black coral. Gorgeous. Got to watch out for spider mites on these. They just seem to generate them. You'll see like little webbing and things on the plant. This one, this battered looking thing here, is a Musa ice cream, blue Java. So again, I need to do a bit of research on that one. And then I've got this plant that I always forget the name of, Saboria Sem, is it? Yeah, Saboria Sem. And that one, it does get some red colorations on the newer growth, and then it goes for green. I think this one, from what I can see, says it grows 5 foot by 5 foot, so it can become quite a bit of a unit. And it's a shade to full sun on there as well. So I'm going to pop these in amongst the garden, as well as on the journey I've got some new plants. There should be something of interest, even if it isn't my voice as we're going around. I've already put some stuff out, so there's new stuff for you to look at. So without further waffle, let me show you the areas that I'm working with and some of the suggestions that I've got. So if we start off in here, this is one of my bigger issues. That's the palm in the middle there, the Trachycarpus, that I've referred to as being the ugly sister. And that did used to have the bigger one over in that space. When you sat in the patio, you couldn't see that tree in the background. It was completely covered. So you had nicer shade in the seating area. So at the moment, that feels like definitely has been a bit of a downgrade. However, if it's for the benefit of the palm, maybe that particular one will like a bit more shade. That should be fine. So what that's created is in front of that area, there's now an awful lot of gaps which weren't there before, because obviously the fronds were overhanging, so it filled it out quite nicely. So I've put a colocasia down the front. That's one of the bigger ones. I think it's like Thai Giant or something like that. And then I've got a range of ferns, which are all supposed to be hardy and evergreen, which I spoke to Richie over Richard's Tropical Garden Projects. He suggested a range of those, and he's definitely forgotten more than I'll ever know about ferns. So check out his channel if you want the actual names. Then there's a Mahonia in there as well. So quite a bit of space there is at the back, so you can kind of see them. There's the Acanthus mollis, which was what I was calling the Miscanthus mollis last week, and there's another one there. So there should be quite a lot of those popping up through that area. So the new plant that I'm proposing is this beauty here, which is the Canna musifolia, which is a very big canna. I think it's known as the banana canna. So I'm just wondering if that would look nice, kind of towering up there in front of this absolute stunning Formium there, the Formium tenax. In the bit there, you can see loads of room. There is a Xanthodecia that's right in the middle there. And then there was some pink china, but I've covered it with bark for now, so that will fill out a little bit, but obviously that area there will still be a little bit plain. So I don't know whether to throw that plant in there as well. So the Schefflera actinophylla, I don't know whether to chuck that towards the back or in front of the palm tree and just kind of throw that in there, and then obviously dig that out at winter time. The other options that we got is around here. So we've got some room in front of there that we need to fill. One of the suggestions that I've got as well is down at the bottom there, which is a suggestion in the comments from Steve a fair few months back, which was this one here, the Astelia, I think it's called, Nervosa Westland, and that grows about 1 metre, 1.5 metres, and kind of should fill out that particular space. The colour gets better, from what I've read, the colour gets better with shade, than in full sun. It retains more of the copper kind of colouring on it, so I might have to push that a little bit further back in to the border, but again, let me know. Over in here, what I've planted down is the Montbelliardi banana plant, right in the middle there. Beautiful midrib colour on that. Down in this section here, just to explain the layout of it, there is 2 there, which is the Mussassic immensis, so that'll come out and that'll complement the kind of purple and greens. I've also put in a loquat, which is there. The idea of that, I wanted it to spill left, right, up, down, in kind of every direction to help block a bit more of the storage unit, as well as eat. There's quite a gap there from where it's planted to the fence. There's a huge gap over the back, and that's kind of where I want your help as well. So beforehand I had these huge bamboos that were blocking the view of the house. If you've got any suggestions there of something that won't overhang the fence, and that's evergreen, hardy, and maybe grows a bit more like, maybe like the miscanthus, maybe that's what I use, but something that's a bit more like column in its shape rather than banana, which grows in every direction, because I don't want to keep cutting off the ones that go over the fence. Then that would be great. Anything for privacy that you would recommend that would go along the back there? Obviously I could put the bamboo back, but I'll run over that at another point. This area here, and I'll go and stand by the banana just to show the size. Hopefully that shows the size of that thing. It's absolutely monstrous. It's got to be 10 or 12 feet tall. I thought I'd do that just to showcase the size. So right down here, I'm thinking of doing maybe like an arid section right in front of the pond. Have a bit of contrast between like wet and dry, maybe, I don't know. Just thought of that as I was filming. But I've got the yucca, that obviously could be like an arid kind of thing. I've got down here the Spanish dagger on the right hand side, which is like the variegated one. In the middle I've got the agave mediopicta, and then on the left hand side it's either marginata or variegata. I can't remember which one it is, but I was thinking of kind of having this as like the sharp and spiky kind of area. What I could do is add additional stone around the front, lift those up, and then plant those in. Either leave them in the buckets, kind of containers that they're in, so I can lift them out and then put them back in the greenhouse over winter. I know the Spanish daggers is hardy, but the other two I think need some protection. The iris is coming up in the pond, but a new thing that we've planted is here, which is the absolute stunning Haniba banana. That thing, I did put it out early, probably about 3 weeks earlier than most would suggest to put it out, but I just thought the weather was reading right in my area for me to get away with it, and I was prepared at a moment's notice to run out. But it has put out another roller or two. The Gunnera looks fantastic. It is drooping now, so I need to water that. The interesting thing with that is if you had a time-lapse camera, after you watered that, you would see those leaves. They'll rise back up within an hour or two, so it would be quite interesting to see. At the back, as I've said, I've nicked the landscape with all of that, so it looks fantastic, especially with that, the blossom and stuff in that tree, and the kind of variegatedness of the leaf over there. I think looks really great. I have no idea what any of those things are, but I think this area, I appreciate, obviously I've planted that and left all the grass around it, but I've done that on purpose, just because until I get the stone and dig it out, I'd rather dig it out as turf than just allow the weeds to overtake it all. Down here, this is the area that I wanted to explain, so let me spin the camera around. So just as I show you this section here, this is a section where I really have tried to put some type of learning in, but feel free to rip it to shreds. What that's entailed is I was watching Tiki Tropicals, which I've been a massive fan of for many years. Obviously he's a professional landscape gardener and stuff, but every time I look at his garden, because it's such a mature garden, I'm sure you guys, if you found my channel, you know about Tiki Tropicals channel, but if not, go and check it out. It's got such mature plants because it's been there for maybe 15-20 years, I think, from what I can remember, that it looks absolutely fantastic. So what I tried to do this time, because my mind sometimes runs at a million mile an hour, I thought, oh, let me try and take one learning from the video rather than trying to understand the whole thing. And I picked up on something that hopefully is correct. I'm sure Tiki Tropicals might let me know in the comments if I'm talking absolute waffle. But what I picked up on was the way that the garden's designed is within your eye line. If you see like something maybe that's like a zesty yellow kind of colour, there might be another one and then another one. So as you kind of look down the garden, it kind of looks naturalised. As well as I picked up on, there was like quite a lot of reds and kind of like purpley kind of colours, and that was throughout, as well as like the leaf texture was throughout. So when you was looking at one thing, you could kind of see another example of something similar over in the garden and things. So what I thought was in this particular section, whereas I went wild with my colour palette in the beginning and I was just putting any colour in that I wanted, it's I've tried to keep this one to just 2 colours, maybe 3 at the absolute most, just to see if I can kind of get a kind of similar vibe from that. But let me know what you think to this one. This is the one that I've tried to put some level of effort in as well. So as you can see from here, there's the green and purple that's within the canna, the Cleopatra. Next to that is the Persicaria Red Dragon, which is like the purple colour. I've then got the green from the Factia polycarpa green fingers. I've got both colours within the Persicaria Purple Fantasy. I've got at the back the Musa Sikimensis, which again has got both on there. So relatively happy with how that's kind of coming across on there. And then obviously the tree fern is just thanks to Richie again for his help throughout winter. Every single time it was going to dip, I had a warning, running out with fleece and things, but that is actually starting to go. We've never had a flush because it came with them on, but they were all like broken and stuff like that. So this will be the first time that we've got a roller. And then another one in the background, because maybe I've nailed this now, is the passion flower, which again is green and purple. Again, recommended by Steve. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I know people can say, oh, it's your garden, so do what you want. But I do kind of want gardeners world to start harassing me with how brilliant the garden is. But we might be a long shot away from that. So in this area was the hosta, which somebody did call out to say they're not sure if it fits within the tropical aesthetic. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, but I do get the point though. It does stand out a bit like a sore thumb. But it's next to the Miscanthus giganteus, which is absolutely romping. So I don't know how much you're going to see of that anyway, but fair cop with that, because it was something that I just saw when I was at home base or somewhere. I thought I like that, so I bought it to kind of go in with that theme that we're now choosing. And I am going to sell a lot of the plants that don't fit it anymore. Is I've got the hooker on the right hand side, which has got the kind of purple in, again the persicaria, and then the astelia, which has got that kind of purpley kind of green colouring. So I'm trying to do that kind of little bit of a vibe. But yeah, let me know. Basically, it was a bit of a cheeky video to see if you can design my garden for me, basically, or have some input. But I would quite like that if someone gave me the opportunity to do that. Not like I know what I'm doing, but yeah. I normally start the video off with hopefully that was useful and thanks for watching. But on this occasion, obviously, you're going to be helping me more than I'm helping you. So hopefully some of the suggestions are really helpful. And I'm looking at getting these things planted ASAP. So these will be things that if you look at on the next video, hopefully there'll be some of the suggestions that I've implemented within the garden. But if you like the video, don't forget to click the thumbs up. It really does help support the channel. And as well, if you want to really support the channel, click subscribe. And it will just show you more videos like this going forward. But thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. And thanks in advance for any comments as well. Thank you.